What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Hypocritical AF podcast. I am your host, Albert Fig, and in this week's special episode, I am joined by a person who I've been waiting on and just hoping and really excited to have on, and it's Beatriz Aguilar, or
Hi.
Beatriz. Hi. Thank you for coming on again.
Of course.
I had to, I first would like to start by letting you know, I can't make this up. So I started this almost about a year ago, almost a year. And literally, I made a list of the amount of the people that not really made the list, but I was like, all right, who would I have on? Like, how am I going to talk about everything? And is it going to be solo episodes? I would like to highlight like certain people. And I was making a list, and literally you were on the list.
Oh, nice.
It was you. It was like Kaylani, Philo, stuff like that. But genuinely was like one of the first people that I wanted to initially have on. I've not read away at first because I was like, I don't even know where I'm going with this just yet, But I wanted to make sure the time was right and everything, and which we were trying to set up everything. And then unfortunately, someone just has like a voodoo doll on you. You know what I mean? You were involved in 3 accidents.
Yes.
In 2 months?
Well, since November. So November was like the first big one.
Yeah.
Then the second one was like a hit and run.
Oh,
and then
my
the third
God.
one wasn't my fault still, but
Yeah.
more.
Someone just has it after her, y'all.
Yeah, definitely.
But luckily,
it's not working.
Yeah, but luckily and thankfully she is here. And yeah, so funny, so quick little story. I've been following you on Instagram for like years now. And it's actually we've actually met 2 times before prior. Very, very quick.
Put me on the spot like that.
But it's funny, though. It's funny. Okay. So these have specific stories. So the very first time it was downtown. I think it was like right outside of Lowbrow.
Okay.
Right. And I remember I had found your page on Instagram because there was like showcasings and then paints, and there was like a bunch of shows in downtown Sac and like hella artsy, And I had went to this prior to that. I had went to this like open mic poet type of thing. I went by myself. I just wanted to go just to see what it was about, Loved it. And then I was looking at a bunch of different paintings all over the area.
Yeah.
So it was ironic that it was like I just happened to see you that night. So I had saw your work, I guess, or page, work or art or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to your page and I was like, oh, look, it's super dope. She does all these paintings and stuff, And then I saw you that night and and so in hindsight, it's like, this is a horrible way to do it. But like I ran up on you and you may have been a little tipsy, I was too. And I was like, I follow you on Instagram. You're like, hey. And I was like, you're super cool. And then I just like left. And I was like, that was hella awkward. I just,
worry.
I was like, how do you go to a person and kind of, I was like, initially I was like, should I introduce myself? But it was like, you're super cool.
Thank you. No, I'm very awkward too when it comes to like people telling me like, oh, I follow you on Instagram. I'm like, how do I follow that? I'm like, cool, thanks. Like, I don't know what to say back to that.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
It's because I'm also like horrible with names.
Oh, okay.
I do have a friend who's like one of my closest friends now.
Mm-hmm.
He called me out on it when I moved back from Vegas. He's like, BB, we've met 3 times. I'm just like, I'm just trying to be polite and reintroduce myself. Like, I don't want to be rude and just be like, hey.
Yeah.
I see you again, even though I don't know your name. And after that, I remember his name moving forward. Like, I'll never forget his name.
I always that's so awkward too when I found a trick with it. Like what you want to do is if you're in this setting, if you're fortunate enough to have this setting, you kind of introduce the other person to another person.
I've done that.
Yes.
I've done that. I'm just like, oh, this is my friend so and so.
Yeah. Hey, I'm so yeah, that's the perfect way to do it. So that was the first time I, randomly just ran up on you. The second time was maybe I won't say you were at a work. You're at your work. I don't know if you're still there now.
House?
Yes. Okay. I just
Nobody
didn't know.
come there. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I was trying to protect her, y'all, from a bunch of weirdos. And we had went there, and you were at the front.
Yeah, I was a host at that time, probably.
You were like pregnant. Pregnant. Yeah.
I worked those whole 9 months.
Yeah. You were like pregnant.
Right.
And I was like, hey. And then finally that was like, I'm Albert, but I was like, I follow you on Instagram. And because it played back in my mind, I was like, you didn't say your name last time, And you were like, oh, cool. And I was like, fuck, I did it again, like hella awkward, And
I just don't know what to say back to that. When people tell me that, I'm just like, thanks. I don't know. Because it's like there's many different reasons why you may follow me. And it's like it's either the art or like the words or you just chose to follow me.
Right.
And it's like, okay.
Then you get those weirdo dudes that are just like, we're just following her just because,
No, I've had some weird interactions with that because they're like, I'll meet them in person and like, I more than half the time I do reply to almost every message.
Yeah.
And it's not like I don't receive many thirsty messages like that from men.
Yeah.
What I do receive is a lot of like, oh my God, I'm so in love with you. And it's like, well, how?
Oh, wow.
How?
Nice.
You know, and I don't say anything back because I'm just like, cool, thanks. And then they get offended by that. And I'm like,
yeah.
They're like, that's it. And I'm like, what'd you expect? Like, I don't even know you. So there's been times.
Okay.
It's awkward at times. So I just kind of like.
As long as you don't have no weirdos asking for like feet pics or something like that.
No.
Okay. I know friends who get those.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I said, there was a quick little story for those 2 times, and here we are today.
Finally.
Yeah, finally.
Collaborate on something.
Yes. But so I'm very interested to get to know you more and just like on a deeper level, if that's okay.
No worries.
Like I said, big fan of your art and big fan creatively of everything that you do.
Thank you.
And originally, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're from the Bay Area?
Yeah. So I was born in San Francisco and raised in Oakland.
Yeah.
Then we moved here around 5th or 6th grade. And I've been here in Sacramento. And then I moved to Las Vegas for about 3 to 4 years. Then I moved back about 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah. I was going to talk about that one too. So growing up in San Francisco, and then would you say, because I know you did a showcasing out there, essentially like where you grew up and everything.
In Oakland.
What was the transition like leaving that scene? Because Bay Area is known and like historically been like a thing. Like I used to live in the Central Coast, and we used to be people down south, like in LA and San Diego.
Yeah,
they used to call us and group us together like NorCal. So they'd be like, "Oh, you're from the Bay," and we used to be like, "Yeah," we used to love taking the credit, knowing damn well we're not from the Bay Area.
I think everybody does. I think everybody's so proud. It is a very proud place to be from, just because. Yeah, it is a big transition. Like. It's very fun. It's opening. We're so welcoming. Like you can be wearing a SpongeBob t-shirt and you dress it up and it's like, oh, you look fly, you know? And it's like, I moved here and I was like to my mom, like, it's very quiet.
Yeah.
Mom, there's no kids outside playing. Like I come from an apartment complex where like you're outside all day, all night. If your mom allows you to be outside during nighttime, but you're in an apartment complex, your mom can keep an eye on you.
Yeah.
As opposed to here, it's like very quiet. And it was... The word dude was used a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot. And I was just like, everybody says dude. Like,
did you get a lot of hellas?
No, it was like the dude was like, it really stood out to me. I was like, okay. And I was like in 6th grade, I was like, everybody says dude. Where do you guys say that?
Yeah. And even the girls would say dude. Yeah. Dude.
And I was more of like a bro and like bruh. And it was like,
it's a transition for there, huh?
And it's just like, they're just quieter. Everyone's here more. I don't want to be a hater on SAC.
Tell them.
But SAC doesn't really support SAC until you leave SAC.
Yeah.
And then you come back, the support's gone all of a sudden again.
Yeah.
I definitely experienced that when we being in Vegas, and it's like everyone supported me, like my art, everything. And then I moved back and it's like, I want to say people look at it as like you failed, but it's like, no, you don't know you'll move back.
Yeah.
Everybody does come back to your place you were being raised at or in. So the transitions are always very different from the Bay to here. Than Vegas back home. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, it had to be tough. And of course, like when you're so young at that point, especially you at that time, I don't think you had like a choice.
No, because it's like your prime. You're like 12, 13, and you're like figuring who you are, what you're about, like what you like, what you don't like, who you're going to be. And like your friends, your best friends. And that's what hurt the most too. I left my best friend, Tatiana. I cried on the way here. I was like, you made me my best friend. Like, how dare you, Mom? Like, you don't love me. I don't want to move there. Like, we don't know anybody there.
The end of the
family.
world.
Yeah, I was like devastated. And then made some friends here, luckily.
Yeah.
Best friends.
For sure. I mean, there's a difference. I mean, even me too, I can relate to that too, like having a transition out here. I mean, I'm going on my 7th year, I think, being here, 7 years. Yeah, about 7 years. Or going on 8, 7 going on 8. Yeah. Definitely an adjustment for that too, but nothing from leaving the Bay. That's like a bigger thing. It
is, because you go back there and you go home and it's like proud. I feel safe. I'm just like, I'm here.
And creatively, right? You get like, there's so much, because I have a bunch of friends that live in the Bay Area too, and it's just like the melting pot of people. It's like it's like it's kind of like, it's like LA. Obviously LA is a little bigger.
Yeah.
But it's like creatively, there's people that are just constantly evolving and constantly getting like inspiration and motivation from,
that's
from
that's definitely what I feel like with Bay Area. Is definitely one of those cities where there's not darkness to it. I believe like, there's LA, there's Vegas, there's New York, and they all have like, anyone that's lived there definitely have like some darkness vibes where like you'll move in, you're not from there, and it's like it'll spit you back out.
Oh,
and I don't feel like the Bay has had that where it just invites you in, like welcome. What do you do? What do you want to do? You want to collab? Like that's tight. Like and you might not even think it's the coolest thing ever, but it's like to someone else, it's the coolest thing ever. Like
for sure, and it's also like just being able to like network and work with people. You know, that's like one of the biggest things too. I go out, so my work. I go to the Bay. Like I'm every single week. I'm there. I'm constantly doing stuff out there, and I can see how easily like how much you can want to be like I want to go back, or like I would love to live here. You know, minus the price. But like but
even here it's getting just as bad with the prices. I'm like, I might as well go back home.
I know. I'm like, fuck, man, this shit's getting up.
Everything.
Yeah. But so it's I was curious for that one. It's just like making the transition here and everything, and it's crazy to me too, thinking about you are rare in that you have San Francisco roots, Oakland roots, and SAC roots, and then you had like a short stint in Vegas, but you have all that like in one. You know, that's super cool, like dope. And but I was bringing that up to say too, you kind of like from I think even before I started following you and everything, you kind of already had I would say it's just safe to say like an established yourself, like established name, and creatively just were doing a bunch of different things even before.
See what I could do.
Yeah. Kind of like trying to learn, you know what I mean? Because we're modeling, right?
I started the modeling thing. I didn't really take it serious. It was just I saw photo shoots as an opportunity to like love myself and what I looked like. Body parts that I didn't like. Like I just, you know, after having a kid, all of a sudden started to look like a woman. But before that, it was just like I have nothing. Like and all I had was like a face. So it's like even with this face, it wasn't there all of high school and all of middle school. So it wasn't until like 18. And then I had a best friend, Ashley, may she rest in peace, my baby. I feel like after she passed away, I definitely embraced her.
Right.
And
I remember that post.
Yeah, I definitely embraced her. She definitely told me, be a girl. It's fun. Because I was a total boy. I was t-shirt, jeans. I was like the only girl in my high school who wore Nike SBs. I wasn't about the Jordans. I mean, I was a total sneakerhead. But I started getting to Nike SBs, and I was like the first and only girl out of my school. And then people found FTC. Now everybody's fucking wearing dunks. And I'm like, get on my face, you know? I was like, get out. And then definitely transitioned to a girl. And I started getting to know the modeling because I definitely wanted to love myself and who I was. So I definitely saw that an opportunity to like engage in that area. And then it just came flowing. People started hitting me up like, hey, can you do this photo shoot? Can you do this clothing line shoot for me? And I was like, I mean, yeah.
That's super
like,
cool.
Cool. Like, I'm down.
Yeah.
And then I remember at Cloud9, Sean like hit me up and I did that. Wasn't even 21 yet. And I was like on this big old poster at the club. I'm like, I can't even go. Like,
You're like, but y'all go.
Y'all go ahead. And I was like, but that's me on that poster. Like, it's huge. And I was like, oh, God.
No, that's super cool. And I have actually bought some Cloud9 clothing before too. So. Yeah. But so it was crazy to see all that. And like I said, one of the many talents that you have was doing the modeling stuff. And then you were in a music video too?
Yeah, I was on a few actually, mainly with C+, my friend C++, love you, shout out. But yeah, I did a lot with him, for him, and then my friend Chewy as well, he's great. And then I did a few in Las Vegas, but kind of got out of that just because it's more acting, and I always feel awkward. Like I look at the videos, I'm like, I know no one's thinking this, but I'm thinking this, and I'm like judging myself. But I was literally like on light rails with bag lady. I'm like, with clothes. I was like, I gotta go do this video shoot. My friends are like, it's raining. I'm like, yeah, but I got a commitment. They're like, you don't got to ride. I'm like, no, I'm on the light rail. It's like, it's fine. I'll be there. And I did a bunch of those. It's tight.
Yeah, those are super cool. I mean, I can proudly say I've been in one so far. It hasn't been out yet. So I've had the opportunity to be in one, and they're super cool. I mean, it's definitely out of my lane because I don't necessarily, I don't have like, you know, I don't look like an actor or look with someone like would be. I'm more of like a background dude. Like I'll be the, you know, the extra in the back, like
just
snapping.
Dancing.
Yeah, just in the back or like smacking a jukebox, like making sure it works. You know what I mean? Something like that.
Get a little cameo cool. in.
Like I'll pass by in the
like that's me.
That's me. No, that's super cool. But I say all that to say, how did you? Because with the art, and I remember looking back in a bunch of posts too and everything. You were just basically putting out the paintings and everything you're doing, but you were telling people, and I thought it was key for you to say, you're like, hey, I'm letting you guys into my creative space. Like, that was super cool. And I love the wording for it, because we think, social media, just because we're putting it out there, it's essentially for the world.
But it's not.
But it's not. Yeah. And you were the one that was just like, okay, now that I have all these new people and everything, let me introduce you to this, or at least a sneak peek, kind of, So how did all that come about?
So my apartment in Vegas.
Yeah.
it was my first learning experience. Like, my first apartment was horrible. Second one, it was roommates. And then my third one was like my own home. And I made sure to make this nice apartment, my little home, my creative space, my cave. I had no TV. I didn't have a living room set up. I made my living room my studio. And then my kitchen area my little dining area was like the chilling out area. And I had like similar like setup like this, honestly. Literally just very similar. Yeah. Just because I also have unlimited data, so I was like, what do I need TV for? So, my phone worked. I was like, I didn't need anything.
We got YouTube.
So I just wanted my focus to be like, if I'm bored, I need to paint. I'm not going to sit down, put a movie on, I'll smoke a blunt. Yeah. I'm going to paint. And so I forced myself to paint. I made my area like, people came over, you're not going to stay. You're not going to spend the night. It's not comfortable. Like, there's a chair like this. You don't want to be sitting on a chair like this all day. No. So it was very like that. I made that purpose of that. Like, I don't want anyone feeling too comfortable that they can question, hey, can I stay the night? Can I like chill, come over? It's like, no, you can't. This is my studio. This is my space. So you can come over and hang out for a couple hours, but you got to go home at some point. Even though I did open my space up to a good friend of mine for a few weeks, just because you can't tell me you got nowhere to go.
Yeah, I feel
I got an air mattress. Like, come on. Like, if you have you're coming to stay. Like, come on. But I definitely did make that my goal, where like I need to be laser focused on this, because there was a lot of darkness that I was embracing. I need to let it out and not sit on it.
Ooh, actually.
So I did that.
It's funny that that you say that, because I wanted to reference 3 different times, I guess you would say, if that. But I remember, if it's okay with you, there was something that when I was looking at it, I remember it resonated with me, and it's speaking about the Las Vegas times, and it was a post that you put, and it said, I've invited several of you into my creative space. This year, my lease was over, and I had a plan of moving to Los Angeles once it was over this past August, but instead I renewed my lease for another year. Why? Because Las Vegas has this aura that I didn't experience anywhere else. The sinful winds, the curious lights, and the never-ending nights. It's something that's not even my beloved California has given me. And I wanted to preface that and say that too, because speaking about that, it resonated with me, because I was in a similar situation where my lease had ended, and I had no idea where I was going to go. Yeah. And I was like, I was going to take this job opportunity to Los Angeles. Yeah. And I was at a crossroads where I was like, do I want to officially make that jump and make the transition and make the move, or do I want to stay here and continue to grind, essentially? Because, I mean, not to say Los Angeles wasn't going to be a grind, but it was going to be a different grind.
It is.
If that makes sense. Yeah. I don't know if I was going to be ready for that. But hearing you talk about that and reading that, does it bring back any nostalgia for you?
Indeed, especially after having a baby. Yeah. Because, you're like this whole new person. You're not that person anymore. You still want to be you, but you're also like, I'm a mom, but it's like trying to like figure out who you are now as a whole new person. So definitely looking back at that, it was like, I do read those posts a lot too. Yeah. I am happy with staying in Las Vegas. I am happy that I stayed for the amount of time that I did stay. Yeah. I also am happy that I did not move to Los Angeles, just because I've seen my friends succeed, move there, but it's also like, it doesn't have anything I want or I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a 9-to-5 that can pay my rent. Right. I'm not looking for Hollywood Boulevard. It's like at that time, I was just letting God guide everything. Yeah. And so I'm glad with staying in Las Vegas for as long as I did. Yeah. I am very happy. Yeah. And I definitely do look at that city as a home, because I definitely got to know who I was and what I'm capable of doing on my own. Yeah. On my own. For sure. Yeah. That's because LA's a different type of grind, and I'm glad I didn't, not to make it about me or talk about me. No. But I'm glad I ultimately didn't pull the plug at that time. But who knows, maybe in the future, things might change, or, we'll see. I definitely believe you're exactly where you're supposed to be every single step. Yeah. I'm a firm believer in trusting the process and your journey, and speaking everything into existence. I'm 100% believer in that.
I mean, you sitting here, it is a testament to that. Because I literally said, I'm going to have her on the podcast soon. And then here we are. So I'm just a little geeked out for it. But so creatively, I wanted to get two different perspectives or opinions on you. Creatively, before having a baby, you were, like I said, showcasing here, not just locally, you were showcasing back home in your city. You've even started like brands and had your merch, and even globally too, like had it shipped out to like Canada.
That was the biggest thing.
Yeah. And just getting all of that and having that grind, two things. One, do you think you were born with that grind, or do you think over time you developed it?
I definitely think I developed it. I don't believe I was born with it, just because family orientation.
Yeah.
What I have. I didn't see that, and I definitely wanted to shift that. Mm-hmm. Like, I wasn't taught, financial knowledge. I wasn't taught.
Same.
Chase your dreams. I wasn't taught that. It was just save money, be a good person, but you have the freedom to be who you want to be. My parents never put a ceiling on me of who you're going to be, what you want to do, what you can't do. But the only thing my mom did instilled was take your time growing up. Don't rush growing up. Don't be rushed into wearing makeup, into wearing dresses. Like, don't rush yourself to grow up. You'll get there at one point. Yeah. It's inevitable. You're going to hit that step. So I did adapt to like my lifestyle, where like, I'm not going to rush moving out or moving there, or rush this painting. Because also I do have a friend who told me, like, if you're seeing it in your brain, you can't put it on paper. It's not meant to come out yet. He's like, don't stress it. Just go on to something else.
That's good advice.
So that was a big thing. And like, I just wanted to push myself to see what I can and cannot do. And I did push myself to make the connections and resources that were at hand. Yeah. Like, I'm a big person on, if you want to do something and you want to tell me, hey, I need this done, and if I can't do it, I guarantee you I have a friend who can. Yeah. I guarantee you I have someone who knows someone. Yeah. And I will connect you with that person. I want you to get that done. I want this person to like help you. And I'm a big thing with that, of like connecting people and resources and using your resources and your sources. Sure. Yeah. So I definitely do believe I learned how to grind. I don't think I
necessarily had
it.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I asked you is because I've had people on before, and just even like conversations that you have with your friends and everything, there's some people that say, like, they had that creative gene in them, and they have like this grind, or from at birth they knew something, you know what I mean? Maybe not at birth, but like, and when they were growing up, they felt something and they knew they were going to do something, and I did this podcast. I was a guest on a podcast, and the host, Uli, he had asked me to, what did I think separated myself from other people, So I had my answer. I was just curious to see, as a fellow creative, what that was about, because I had the same thing. I don't think I was born with it either. Yeah. I think over time, of accumulation of just trials and tribulations and experiences, you kind of just develop it, or you kind of learn from it. And I'm one to say that the biggest teacher is life. The life 100%. Lessons that you learn from. So
because she does not care.
No, she does not. You know what I mean? Now with what's the difference, or what do you think there's a difference like between, in that mode of just grind mode, no kids, and then life happens, and then
there's kids.
You have kids, and then like you don't have to say. I don't know if you're like my son wasn't planned.
Yeah, no, mine wasn't either.
And it kind of just hits you out of nowhere. So
no, she did, because it was funny, because I was at work and I was like, you know what, guys? Financially, I don't think I'll ever be ready. I'm not Kim K, nor am I Kanye.
Right.
But emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, I'm so ready to be a mom. I like said it, and 2 weeks later, it was like boom, bam.
And then the universe was like,
God was like,
you got it.
Oh, you can have that. And I'm like, really? Out of all the things I've said I've been ready for,
dude,
this is what you want to give me? Okay, cool. Yeah. But I definitely would say, before having her, having that freedom of like painting whenever you want, going out with your friends whenever you want, like expressing yourself whenever you want. So now having her, she definitely keeps me on my toes. Yeah. She's very creative. She's very playful, very nice, very open, very, her dad's a singer and a music writer and producer. So she has 2 artistic parents. Yeah. So I definitely see her playing with the music. I definitely see her singing. I see her expressing herself. And the painting is what has been hard, just because she wants to paint too. Yeah. And it's hard because it's like, I got to watch you paint.
Yeah.
Don't paint here. Yeah. Don't make a mess here. Let's go outside. But it's like, the weather's horrible. Let's not go outside. Like, you know, so I'm teaching her and I'm using my words like, hey, mommy needs to paint right now. Get your colors after I'm done with this or this oil, you know, because obviously oil is like, you have to.
Oil based?
I paint with oils.
Yeah.
You know. So I got into oils last year and it was like the greatest transition from acrylics. So I can put it away and like I can continue that piece later on.
Yeah.
Because it's not dry and it's not going to dry or cure within 30 seconds of a different brush stroke. So then she is trying to and finally understanding like, okay, mommy's going to paint right now. Mommy's painting. She'll tell me, mommy, paint. Don't touch. Don't touch. I'm like, yeah, don't touch. And then we'll transition. Okay, it's mommy and baby's time to paint. Yeah. She goes, oh, it's paint? I was like, yeah. And she'll like get her
That's so cool.
pinks, all her brushes. And she goes, okay, come on. And she'll lay out her stuff. She knows to get the garbage bags, lay them on the floor, gets her canvases or her notepad, and
you just let her go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just let her go, but she tells me what to draw too. She's like,
that's super
flower. Cool. Can you paint a flower? I'm like, can you paint a flower? Like, shit. Come on, let's do this together. And like, I'll teach her and like,
that's cool.
Go crazy.
And that's pushing her too, right? Yeah. Like
not pushing her, just open it.
Right. Opening the mind.
Here we are, you know. So and I noticed she's getting a little darker with her choice of paints too. She's like, black, blue, purple. I'm like, you want that? Okay. Yeah. And she'll splatter it and like just get messy with it and uses her hands and goes crazy. And then she goes, oh no. I'm like, yeah, oh no. Yeah. Paint all over you. Oh no. Here goes another shirt that got paint all over.
Yeah, they go, by the way, y'all, if you're not parents or don't have kids, they go through clothes like a fucking, you know.
Literally right now, I'm just like, all you have is these little dresses.
Oh,
Fall's coming.
He went through 2-3 outfits before he even got here. Yeah.
No, she picks her outfits out now. She's like, not that one. Okay, what do you want to wear then? I said, no. Okay, what do you want to wear? Like, come on. He goes, no. I said, no. She'll pick out her clothes. And I'll try to like guide it where like I don't want to say it's not appropriate because, you know, but also it's like, you don't want your kid looking dusted and busted in the street while you look nice.
True, yeah.
Like, I hate
it's
that.
It's a reflection of yourself.
It is. I hate seeing, but also at the same time, like, I don't know if you won that battle this morning. Who am I to judge? Yeah. Because there's certain battles I don't win where she wants to wear her yellow rain boots with a dress that she has on right now. I'm like, yeah, I'm not. He's not. I'm not at the age just yet. So right now, like he kind of just likes to wear what we give him. So I'm not looking forward to that. No, I think I messed up too because since she was a baby, I'm like this one or this one.
Yeah.
And I would think I'm like, oh, she picked this one. She didn't pick that. Like I picked it.
Nah, you good. You good. So like I said, so with the painting and everything that you had going on, and now having a baby, and you know having to adjust that and do all that, how was it like? Well, you actually did say that about the grind mode with everything, right? Is it a different grind?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How do you navigate it?
It's not about you no more.
Yeah.
So it's not about me. It's not about what I want. You know, I mean, it definitely is still because you know, being a mom, a single mom, it's like, you know, I talked about this with my friends. You know, I brought up the topic of like mom showers. I brought up this conversation with other moms. It's like there's no focus on the mom. You know, you go to all these classes of like having the baby, what you're gonna expect, how to install the car seat, how your water's gonna break. You know, all these classes, and you're like, I want to do things right, and I'm not messing my baby. But there's no focus on the mother and like what happens to you mentally,
right? What
happens to you physically? What's gonna happen to you emotionally? Like, you know, so there's no focus on that. And now that I have her, it's like, okay, I have to still put myself first. Yeah. Because if I'm not okay, you're not going to be okay.
I say that
How can I give you a good mom when I'm not okay?
Yeah.
You know, and it's hard. And it's hard when you have traditional Mexican parents who are like, well, your life is over. You got a kid. And it's like, it's actually not. Just kind of just begun. Still going, mom. Like, you know.
Yeah.
So I definitely have more of a rigorous focus and my patience onto where, and I definitely choose now what I'm reacting to, what I'm not going to react to in my day-to-day life. And I still got to come home to her. I still got to take care of her. So my grind is definitely all about her because I don't want her to tell her I can't afford that. I don't want her to say we can't get that because we don't have enough money. I don't ever want to say like growing up, like, sorry, we have to choose between this light bill or your princess that you want. Like, no, I want you to have everything. And not because I want to spoil you, just because I want you to understand that it's attainable. My mom gave this to me, so I don't see why I can't go get it myself. and give it to somebody else. You know, like I definitely want her to understand, like, with hard work comes with these rewards.
Yeah.
If you want the rewards, you got to work hard.
Yeah.
So it's 100% for her, but also 1,000% for me.
Yeah. Everything. It's really good to say that. I don't think it gets said enough, because I've also spoke about that, and I've also mentioned it with us, and I've always said, like, you know, if we're not okay as parents, like if we're not okay up here, it trickles down.
It does.
And you can get the effect. Like we can literally alter moods, alter trajectories as far as what they see and what we take. So no matter what stuff is going on outside of the house, work wise, or when we come home, or in your case, when you wake up and she's right there, it's all that goes out the window, and it's all about them.
And that's it.
Yeah.
But so it's also like, you got to take time for yourself still. Like, okay, I need my friends real quick. I need to go get a drink with my friends.
Right.
Maybe you can come with me. That's fine.
Yep.
You know, happy hour. We rocking together all the time. But I still need my friends. I still need, like, my friendships. I still need, like, 2 hours to myself. It's like, you know, I call them my mommy breaks when her dad has her. Because it is a mommy break.
Right.
I don't have her. Yeah. I don't have to worry about her. I mean, I do, obviously. I don't have to say that wrong. But I know she's in good hands.
Yeah.
I'm not stressing, like, say if I left her with a stranger or babysitter, it's like I'm going to be worried 24/7. And I'm like, forget it, I'm just going to get her.
Right.
You know, but so takes a different toll.
No, you're right. Taking care of, like I said, I preach that too. And I come from a family with a lot make women, and I have sisters who are very strong-minded to a fault. You know who you are. And, but you know, that's saying, I make it a thing. Even they're older than me. They're in their 30s. And I have to tell them all the time too, how it's important to take care of their mentals first.
Yeah.
Because they've had a bunch of, you know, problems and everything. And I tell them, like, you guys have to make sure you're okay first as mothers. Because, you know, it's as parents, as a dad, I would say it's tough, but it's harder being a mom. For sure.
It is. I don't, you know, no discredit to the men, discredit to the men that have kids.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not the same battle.
It's not.
It's not the same battle. You know, I have this conversation with my mom. Like, she's like, oh, I got to make your dad dinner. I'm so tired. I'm like, then go to sleep.
Yeah.
He has 2 hands.
Yeah.
He can come home and cook himself. You work too.
Yeah.
You as well worked. You also came home and you checked on your kids. You're allowed to tell your husband, I'm not cooking dinner tonight. Cook yourself dinner. It doesn't mean I hate you. It doesn't mean I don't love you. You're not saying those things. And I feel like in parents who are together, that's a big issue. I definitely feel like there's not enough focus on the mother. I definitely don't believe that we get enough credit.
Yeah.
So hug your mothers, love your mothers, apologize to your mom.
No, it's
everything. Because I even tell my mom, like, go have a drink with your friends. Go hang out with your sisters. Like, do something for yourself. You know, her thing is going shopping. And I'm like, yeah, but it's like, you come home to it.
Yeah.
You come home with your stuff. You didn't really, like, go get a massage, go, you know, get a drink, relax, let loose, like, let it out. Just, like, talk it out.
Yeah.
It's okay to say, you know what, my child pissed me off today.
Yeah.
It's okay for my child to say, my mom pissed me off today.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's allowed to have emotions, just about how you go about them.
For sure.
You know, because even, like, when you go on an airplane, they tell you, put on your breathing mask on before you put on somebody else.
Yeah.
Because how am I going to help you
if I can't help myself?
If I can't help myself? How am I going to teach my daughter to, like, be this independent, powerful woman when I'm not going to be that image for her?
Yeah.
She's going to see me stressing, crying. Oh, my God, I'm so tired. And it's like, what's the point of it?
Yeah.
What is literally the point of it? Like, they are sponges.
They are.
They are sponges. This little girl, I think I expressed, I was so mad. Oh, I broke a nail. Don't have a nail on my pinky. Nail fell off, and it was, oh my gosh, that thing hurt more than giving birth. And I screamed and I threw something. I was in so much pain. I can't, like, I don't want to hit something. So I threw something, and I caught her the next day, pissed. And she threw something. I was like, damn it. Why'd you absorb that? Why'd you see that? I'm sorry I did that. And then I had a conversation with her. She may not understand me, but I know that it sinks in. I know that these words sink in these kids down the road. So I just got to keep having these conversations with her.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's all coming back to just making sure you're okay at first, you know. And it's actually another thing that I wanted to talk about then, and kind of quote you if that's okay too. And it's actually about this too. And I've always like for years, I literally wanted to have the conversation with you about this. But I always, like, the thought process of it clicked for me too. And this was speaking about that too. You had made this post that said, have you ever celebrated a breakdown? You were so excited to be in this experience of a letdown. I've always excited. No, wait, I've always exited. I forget.
But excited.
Excited when the universe hands me a breakdown. It's a chance for me to step back and look around at a bigger picture. It's a chance for me to regroup and get back into my vision. I even get more excited knowing that there's a breakthrough and I'm going to be experiencing soon. I may not see it when it happens all the time, but when I reflect, boom, there it is. Yeah.
Yes.
So when you had made this, and I commented too. So when I read it initially, I was just like, I was kind of, I don't know how to say going through the same thing you were going to, because, this was years ago, but I was having an issue too with myself. And then when I read that, I remember I was like, yes, like I right away was like, I agree. And so I remember I was listening to, I was maybe not so much lately as of his antics, but I'm a big fan of Kanye in general.
Yeah.
And I remember when he was going like all over the place, like spazzing out for a bunch of stuff, and when he left that concert here in Sac, people were hella pissed. And I remember we were at High Waters afterward. R.I.P. to High Water.
I know,
right? Shout out to
High Water was the shit.
That was Salty Saturdays.
God, my friends DJ'd there. Shout out to Robbie. I miss being your backup dancer. Blue, I miss being your backup dancer. I miss being up there.
I know, and I remember I was at that after that night that happened when he went up in there and then left the stage. I was at High Water, and I remember everybody was like, fuck Kanye. And I remember I was like, I don't want to say it, but I kind of have to right now, That was a side story. But I remember reading that, and like I said, it clicked for me too, and I was like, yes, like she said exactly like what I was kind of thinking, but she wrote it. And then I remember I commented, I put, as Kanye would say, was it a breakdown or a breakthrough?
Yeah.
And I just wanted to put that one in there. But, it's on the, what we're talking about that. And I think it is, like I said, it's something that, it's okay to have those moments, and it's okay to have that. And it correlates to what we're talking about, is making sure that you're okay up here first,
Definitely. Because so there was one time Trap Art was doing a show in LA. I got accepted. I was ready to go. Mm-hmm. But for the love of God, I could not get a ride. I didn't have a car at the time. I just moved back here. I did not. There was no way of me getting there. I offered money. I offered gas money. Damn. I looked at flights. It was like too expensive. I was like, there were so many no's. Like, you're not going there. Yeah. And I just finally I was like, all right, there's about 10 no's. Mm-hmm. Let's count those. What are my yeses? Yeah. What am I meant to be here for then? Because obviously I'm not meant to be on a plane. I'm not meant to be in a car. Mm-hmm. I'm not meant to be in LA for the show. Mm. So what am I supposed to be here for? And I just let it go. Yeah. And then my friend Brandon actually hit me up. Brandon Alexander, you guys, shout out to him too. Hey. Was like, hey, we have another show coming up, Elysian and Elysium. I can't pronounce it.
At Ace of Spades?
It was at Ace of Spades. Yeah. And it was a big show. Yeah. It was huge. I met so many great other artists, and I literally made so much money there. Mm-hmm. And that was taken I would have missed that phone call if I was in LA. Yeah. I would have missed that message if I was in LA. Mm. So that was my yes right there. Mm. That's what my breakthrough was. This is what you're supposed to be doing, not that show in LA. Yeah. It was this show. And I was like, tight.
That's how
tight, because I had celebrated that night with so much love. I was like, oh my gosh, I was in such a high. Yeah. Because I sold so much. It was here in Sac. My best friends were here. And then I was so pissed because I was like, I had to force you guys to come. I was throwing my tantrums like you guys weren't going to come. And they're like, of course we're coming. I'm like, I don't like these surprises. Yeah. I don't like the ones where you guys make me mad and then just surprise me. Those aren't nice. Those are mentally fucked up. So.
But you do get a lot of support here. You know what I mean? And then.
Oh yeah, my best friends.
You get a lot of support and a lot of stuff that you do.
Kept the same friends for over a decade. Yeah. I don't change in my circle. It's hard to add someone else to that, because I'm like, I got trust issues. I got trust issues. I think someone's trying to come after me all the time. Yeah. No, so definitely my circle is small for that reason.
That's hella cool. Actually, question for that too. Do you think Sac is underrated as far as creatives?
Yes and no. Just because, like I said, Sac doesn't support Sac until you leave Sac. Mm-hmm. And then people can fight me on that. That's fine. I'm not going to argue back with you. But I have a lot of friends who are artists here in Sac. One of the biggest ones, Lisa, who just got an exhibit in the Crocker Art Museum. So proud of her. Mm-hmm. I definitely I gave her the advice of stop doing these small shows. Mm. Stop doing these small ones, just because the small ones aren't where you're supposed to be. Her art is huge. Like it's had so much light, so much to it. I'm like, you need to be focused on these bigger ones,
right?
Which is why I removed myself also from the smaller shows. So I can't say that it is underrated just for that reason, just because we don't get the access of like a platform to like be big, like how Brandon reached out and, you know, did that big show for everybody to come together.
Yeah.
And have the focus be on the art.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's so quick to like, oh, I'm performing here. Let me involve the other artists. And it's like, are you doing it for the artists or are you just doing it so people come to you, see you sing or rap or whatever? So I want to focus more on the art and the artist of that. You know, it's great that you sing, it's great you do music, you know, but it's like, let's keep that together and then we can come together at some points. But I don't feel like it's overrated. So I guess, it is underrated because there's a lot of talent here that doesn't get highlighted or the recognition it's supposed to have. Because I follow a lot of great artists and I'm like, you don't even know who I am. And I don't know who you are in person, but like, I know you exist. I know you're from here.
Exactly.
Why aren't you showing your stuff? Why isn't your shit on display? Like, why? You're so great. You're so talented. Why isn't your shit out there?
Yeah.
And I ask myself that with so many people, like, where's the focus? Where's all the art going to? Where's all this stuff that SAC brags about with like, we support the arts. You know, it's like, where is it?
Yeah.
Where is it? You know, they're so quick to like, you know, small business. It's like, okay, but like, where's the support to the art community?
Right.
It's great that you do clothing. It's great that you do, you know, this other stuff, but it's like the art world isn't really supported. I can't say it is.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of talent I see that is not displayed.
Yeah.
Does not get the opportunities that it should have or the light that it should have.
Right.
That it's earned, I would say.
Yeah. I agree with that because there's, you know, starting this too, I've been able to connect and like network with like so much people and even still more to come and everything. And there's just so many people that I have come across so far that I'm like, dude, why didn't I know you like earlier? You know what I mean? Or how come I didn't come across your stuff since earlier, you know? And that's what like this platform is. Well, essentially a platform is I like to have these conversations with the people, you know what I mean? And to have genuine conversations, you know, I don't want to like have a person on just to just straight up just be like, you're cool, come on. Like, the people that I want to have on is like I have genuine interest in and feel like they have a lot to offer, you know? So that I brought that up too because someone had asked me that. And they had asked me and I was like, I don't know if I'm the good proponent or a good voice to answer it just yet because like I said, I've only been here like going on 8 years. So I don't know if I have the statue or the grounds to say. So
I think you do.
You think?
Yeah.
I
think once you've been here for 5 years, you could say it.
Internally, I was like, I mean, I could answer it, but I was like, I don't know though, man. I was like, I don't know. But I wanted to get your take on that one too, because I couldn't fully answer it just then, but I was interested with that because there is that, especially with the more and more, you go out and kind of see everything. Like I make it a thing too. It's nothing brand new, but I also make it a thing too. I've always been the type of person that needs my own like space, which is hard, you know, being a parent. But I also like I genuinely there's times where it's like I need a day to just me. Like I'm talking about away from everybody, like everybody, like and everybody. Like I need to get away from all of you guys. Yeah. And I'll take a day to myself and everything. But in those days where I do that, like I just go out and I'm like downtown, midtown, and all over the place. I'm not saying I'm over here fucking, you know, bar hopping and clubbing or like that. Like, no, I'm just literally just looking at stuff. And I found so many, even coffee, like straight up coffee shops that I didn't even know about.
Yeah.
And, grindhouses, like where they brew the actual grind and brew the coffee there.
I bet it smells so good.
Oh my God. It was like, I'm learning so much stuff. And I just, those type of things creatively that just like, it's like, it just makes you want to just like, all right, get back to work. I got stuff to do and everything, you know? So that's how I feel about that.
You look some more inspiration around the city.
There is. And it's still growing. And I'm still getting inspiration from a lot of stuff. Yeah. Including yourself. So I got a lot of inspiration from that too.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm trying. I've been trying to get to know myself again.
Yeah, so let's talk about going, you know, obviously 2021 is almost over, which is crazy to say, right? Crazy.
I'm still trying to get over 2020.
Yeah, I'm still like, what's going to happen next? Are we going to be in a shutdown or not? You know,
I hate to say it, but I'm so over this. Like,
me too. I'm so fucking over it.
I'm so over it. I'm like, I don't want to. There's so many voices, so many sides,
here
and it's like
this and this.
You know, you're a bad person if you do this. You're a bad person if you don't do this. You
Divisiveness.
know? And it's like, are you guys looking at the bigger picture? Like, okay, they're not doing racism anymore. Like they tried it. They tried the whole like, let's separate these. You know, all these people with like black and whites, minorities, and white people. But it's like, oh, now you vaccinated or you're unvaccinated. Like there's this war now. And it's like, you can't be mad at people for questioning things.
Right.
You can't be upset because someone has a thought process and not just, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Because I can genuinely say that more than half the people that got that vaccine, y'all didn't do it for everybody else. You did it for the benefits that came with it.
Yeah.
You know, you can be outside, you can be without a mask, you can travel, and it's like, what are you guys traveling to within the U.S.?
Yeah.
Because we're still not allowed in these countries that are beautiful, that don't want us there because they're doing things correctly. They're shut down. They are paying their people. They are, you know, the government's taking care of their people. Our government has failed us left and right, and no one can say that it hasn't. You know, people are so quick, like, oh, if you hit the country and leave the country, you can leave the country, you still got to pay taxes here. Like, y'all, have you guys found out about that? Like, if you want to leave the U.S., you still have to pay taxes here, and there's a freaking whole spiel to leave the U.S. Like, it's not as easy as move to another country. It's not that easy. So it's like, it's just so much hate now. With this, like,
and it's tough. It's like, yo, we're almost done with 2021, and we're still on the same agenda from like literally a year ago. You know,
nothing has been solved.
Yeah, but so I say all that to ask, like, where are you at? I know, is your website still up?
No, I'm Shopify's not that easy. I've tried to like do it, and I'm like, okay. And then I'm just like, do I really want an online store? How am I going to do this? Am I can I even be continuing the products? Like, timing wise, how fast can I deliver something? How fast can an idea pop up that I can deliver it? How many risks am I willing to take? So I shut it down. I still pay for it. I still pay for it.
Oh my God.
But I shut it down just because I did not know where I was going with it. I was like, okay, there's an online store for what? Is it a gallery? Am I going to do blogs on here? Am I going to put my interviews that I've done on here? Am I going to just leave this on YouTube and leave that for the people that did the interviews? Like, so I'm just in this area of like knowing myself again and what my intention is again, because I definitely lost it. I definitely was painting just to paint and nothing good was coming out. Like, I was just, there's so many canvases I just destroyed and threw away because I was like, I don't like this. And I definitely want to put it back up when I have clarity onto what am I doing? Am I just going to paint? Am I going to create more merchandise? Because everyone loves, I sell out crazy. It blows my mind. So I'm like, you guys really like this? It was just an idea. I was like, cool, thanks.
It's cool like that.
You know, so I want to remake the I Am More Than My Demons t-shirts, definitely in a different color scheme. People love those. I definitely want to redo, I want to continue doing those bucket hats. The girls love those. Gay boys did too. I love it.
Was it the
Cuban Psycho?
None of my friends are ugly, or was it?
Oh, I don't have ugly friends.
I don't have ugly friends.
So that's funny because I was 17 and working at Macy's, 17, 18, working at Macy's, and my friend Ruby was like, I don't have ugly friends. I was like, bitch, that needs to be on a t-shirt. And it stuck with me, and I don't think she understands that she was the inspiration behind that. Because I'm like, girl, this needs to be a t-shirt. I'm going to put it on a t-shirt. Like, we need to, this is great. Because it was a valid point. I'm like, I really don't have ugly friends. I don't. None of the people I hang out with are ugly. Like, I don't. They're beautiful inside and out. People I surround myself with. Like, my coworker asked me, like, you know, do you just happen to be friends with all these people who are great at these things? I was like, I'm a firm believer on you are who you hang out with.
For sure.
You are who you surround yourself with. It's like, I do have a few friends who like just work, and it's fine. It's totally fine. That's all you want to do. But just be a good person at the end of the fucking day.
For sure.
At the end of the day, still be like, you don't have to have this hobby or a talent or something you can like capitalize from or profit from. But it's like, as long as you're a good person at the end of the day, I don't give a shit what you do with your life.
Yeah, it literally costs $0.00 to be a good person.
Yeah, it's like that's my only focus. It's like I can say that's where the beauty comes from in my friends and my people. Yeah. Like, I know I can call Kendra at like 2 a.m. and she's gonna answer and pick me up from this random spot. I know that I can call Jimena when I'm like low-key dying and she's gonna have an answer like that. Yeah. There's a moment where I was like, when I'm about to come down, I was like, and I haven't talked to Jimena in years. But I was like, I DM'd her and I was like, hey, but it's already like, I was actually heading to my first showcase on Melrose to LA from Vegas. And she's like, pull over to the gas station, get some banana milk, the Nesquik one, and you'll be fine. I did that. And my God.
It worked?
It worked. And she's like, remember that video when people were like making fun of that guy because he was like, he needs some milk. It was a valid thing because dairy makes you throw up. So if you're ever too drunk, you're ever like too high, too whatever, you did too much, literally get some banana milk, get some milk, it'll clean out your system, which is another warning sign why dairy is not good for you. So shouldn't be drinking milk.
Yeah, I don't fuck with dairy.
Yeah, so that helps. And that's one of the people that I know I can call. And that's I know I don't have to talk to her every day.
But they know.
They know.
Yeah.
She's available out of the blue too. Yeah. Like she disappears, but that one moment her Instagram that I need her, it's active. I'm like, yes.
Those are the ones.
Where are you?
Yeah, those are the friends. I have those two where we don't kick it all the time, especially distance wise and space wise and everything. We don't kick it every day, but when we do kick it, it's like time never happened. Like, you know what I mean? Like we kick it and it's like we were just hanging out yesterday.
Yeah.
And it could have been like 1-2 years apart in between. Those are the good friends, you know?
They are, because it's like they don't hold a grudge against you. And it's like, it's really easy to get in your head like, oh, my friend doesn't like me anymore. They don't hit me up anymore. It's very easy to get in your head and have those voices take over. But it's like, you literally create a scenario yourself. Just hit up your friend.
Just hit up your friend.
Just hit up your friend. Like, hey, how you doing? Where you been?
Yeah.
How's
good?
Everything? You know,
especially well, like I said, we don't have a lot of friends who have parents, but the ones that do have parents, they know. Yeah. Everybody knows what's up. Like we get the time in between, you know what I mean? But they know what's up. Those are the good ones. But you have so with that, you're figuring out what you're gonna do with a website or not. But besides all that, what's in the future? Like, what's in the plans to wrap out this last quarter for this year?
So I just did this journaling. Actually, it's funny you asked that. I asked myself, like, you know, what do I want? What do I see? You know, and it's like, since I was a kid, I always saw myself, I would practice interviews. Like, I just wanted to be interviewed. I'm like, I don't want to be famous, but I want to be known.
Yeah.
I don't want the fame. I don't want paparazzis. Like, I don't want that lifestyle, you know, but I know that lifestyle comes with hard work. And I know that hard work do come those rewards, you know? So I just honestly want to have financial freedom, financial stability. And what that looks like to me is just, I'm not concerned of what's in my bank account.
Right.
I know it's there. Yeah. I'm aware that what I worked for is there. So that, and then I just want to be known, whether it's for being a good person or my artwork or my clothing or being a good mom.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to be known as a good person. So my focus right now is just, I see myself with interviews. I see myself speaking. I see myself working with kids. I love the kids. I want to definitely, that's my ultimate goal in life, is to like kids, the youth. Like, I definitely wanted to start this program when it comes to connecting sources, but I don't know how to go about that. You're going to go to a school like, hey, like, not a stranger, not stranger danger, but I do have these great resources, because I don't feel like our education system feeds the arts and the kids. You know, how can you ask a kid, as soon as you're 18, you graduate high school, you're like, okay, now you have to pick a career. Why?
Yeah.
How? And it's like, oh, you're bad if you don't go to college. You're like, go to college. And it's like, okay, but there's so many great people that didn't go to college and they made a life. I tried college, 3 different colleges, great schools, but came this debt with that, no degree. I have friends who did go to school, have a degree, and they're working with me.
Yeah, I went to 2 colleges and got kicked out of one. So I definitely know. I have given that a bunch of thought, though. Like, the idea of going back, like, I think we're going to get to a point eventually. This is just my thought, right? Yeah. I think in a couple years, 10 years, whatever, I think we're going to get to a point where we're going to look back and be like, hold on, you mean to tell me
it's a fraud?
We're going to tell some kids who are like, some of them not even 18, 17 and a half, 18, just graduated, that they're going to have to like figure this out, like go to college or this and have this at 17 and a half, sometimes 18.
Yeah.
Like, what?
So then, you know, and you know how they do like those college tours, and I definitely wanted to like do a program where I'm going to do a program. I have the sources for it. Yeah. So I want to say this in my next steps, where if I have a kid that like, you see a kid that wants to do music, it's like, I have someone that connects you with them. Like, let's spend a day with them, you know, some MTV shit like made. Spend a day with this person. Yep. And see, do I really want to do this? You know, I want to paint for the rest of my life. Okay, let's connect you with this person who has an upcoming show so you can see what that is all about. Like, let's give you hands-on opportunities. For sure. Where you can decide at a young age, maybe this isn't for me. Let me try something else. Without having to cost these kids a debt for their lives. You know what I mean? Like, you go to college and you're like testing the waters out, but it's like, it's costing you this much money. Right. For what? I'm just learning. Why is it so much money? I don't understand that. Yeah. You know, it's all a game, it's all a system, it's built that way. But I definitely want to do like a mentorship program with kids and guide them and help them and test everything. Like, let's dig into your brain. What do you want to do? Like, do you want to be a doctor? Like, you know, maybe I may not have access to a doctor, but like, there's definitely probably like a youth program for like nurses of like spend a day, like, you know, take your kid to work day.
Yeah.
Kind of like that same guideline, but it's like, how do I go about it?
That'd
Is my
cool.
gray area, especially right now with the pandemic and kids aren't even in schools.
That'd be super cool.
So it's hard because I also want to like do like little paint parties for kids.
Yeah.
I want to do that. I want to bring kids together and just like paint and have them do a little art show and have them be proud. Like, look what I did. Look at this fucking sunflower, Mom. Does it look like a sunflower? No, it's just yellow canvas with a sunflower, you know?
That's
like,
super cool.
I want to do that. Like, cause it's really just with them.
Yeah.
They're the next ones taking over. So like, why not feed it correctly? Why not water these little kids correctly?
They're the next generation.
Yeah. So it's like, why put them through this? It didn't work. It's not working. There's many of us who are like prime examples. Like the college isn't for everybody.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody. Unless you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer, then go for it.
Oh, I know. I've talked about the college and stuff in hella times before. So it's like, well, for that, like I said, wrapping up that, and it's good to hear that type of stuff because I'm always interested. I'm hella curious for a lot of stuff. But I think that's super cool and definitely something that I could see happening for you. So
yeah, because her dad and I even talked about like, you know, we have her savings, we have her bank account set up.
Yeah,
you know,
same.
We're looking into both. I know he has his LLC, but I'm looking to get mine and like getting my brand set up because I want to. I learned about financial stability and, you know, financial knowledge. I can literally write her checks. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that I can open up a retirement fund for her already.
Yeah.
So that when she's 30,
I did that too. Yeah. Well, yeah, I learned that
she can retire.
As soon as they get a Social Security, you can have all that.
You can have all that for them. So it's like I'm working on that. She has her, you know, her money put aside because it's like when she's 18, who am I to tell her to go to college?
Yeah.
Who's her dad? Who are we to tell her to go? We both didn't go to college. Yeah. I mean, I did, but didn't finish it. But it's like, who are we to tell you?
You know what's funny is that us as parents too, we when we made this, we have this savings account for him too, and it was like we want to save it to when he's 21. No, sorry, 21, 22. That was like the initial plan. The thought process of it was we wanted to give him an option to be like, hey, we have this much money for you. Now, if you really genuinely want to go to a college,
it's there.
It's here. But if you want to do something or fund something or take a trip somewhere, whatever it is, that money is going to be funded for you. And we chose 21, 22 specifically for a reason because we didn't want to give an 18-year-old out of Rashida High School be like, here's $30,000 or something like that.
Brand
like,
new car.
What the fuck? 18, you know? So it was like 20, and even 21 is kind of, you know,
it's a little
pushing it. But at that point, you're essentially gonna be adults.
What's up, girl?
And kind of do whatever, you know what I mean? Hey, real quick, you guys. I hope you enjoyed that episode and that interview with Beatriz, or BB. We had to wrap up at the end because life happens and we have children and children like to get everywhere and touch everything. So, again, I just wanted to thank Beatriz for coming on. Really dope person, really dope creative. And I feel like this is going to be a really good episode for everybody to like tune in and check out. So make sure you guys give her a follow on all platforms. And if you love her art and if you love any of her merch or anything that she has working on, just go support her and then let her know what you thought about the episode, okay? Y'all stay safe. Peace.